All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we'll be exploring how to achieve financial success. You know, everyone wants to get a handle on their finances, and we found this really cool guide that breaks it all down.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's really easy to just dream about financial freedom without actually, taking those steps to get there.
Yeah, and so I'm really excited to, dig into this. And it starts with, it actually calls it laying the foundation.
Okay.
Which I thought was a really interesting analogy. Like, you're building a house, right?
I like that.
But, what does that actually look like in terms of our personal finances?
Well, just like you wouldn't start building a house with the roof.
Right.
You need a solid base for your finances.
Okay.
And that really begins with setting clear, specific goals.
Goals, yeah.
I'm sure you've heard of SMART goals before.
Yeah, so that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I mean, I get the concept, but I think I struggle with actually applying it sometimes. It's easy to say, I want to be rich, but how do I actually turn that into a SMART goal?
Yeah. I want to be rich is more of a dream than a goal.
Right.
How do you measure rich, right?
Okay, yeah.
So a SMART goal would be something like save $10,000 for a down payment on a house within 2 years.
Okay, so that's like giving yourself a target.
Exactly. You're giving yourself a specific target, a time frame, and making it something you can actually measure progress toward.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So you've got your goals. Then what? How do you actually manage your money?
Right, and this is where budgeting comes in.
Budgeting. I knew you were going to say that.
Yes,
yeah.
Budgeting.
Okay.
But instead of thinking of it as restrictive, think of it as a roadmap to help you reach your goals.
Okay.
And there's actually a couple of different approaches you could take to budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried zero-based purchase?
Zero-based budgeting.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with that one. What about the 50-30-20 rule?
So the 50-30-20 is a great starting point. Allocating 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt. Zero-based budgeting is a little bit more granular.
Great.
Yeah, every dollar has a job.
Okay. So you're telling your money where to go before the month even starts.
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting concept. I feel like it could also be a little overwhelming at first, no?
It can be, because you have to be very detailed. But it can also be super empowering.
Okay.
Because you are the one that's taking control, and you see where your money is going. So if you're struggling with overspending or you feel like your money just disappears, it's a great way to get a handle on your finances.
Wow. So it's really about taking that control, becoming the architect of your own finances.
Yes.
So we've got our blueprints. Okay. We've got our budget. What's next?
All right. So now that we've got the foundation laid with those goals and the budget, we need to fortify it. And this is where we're talking about building a safety net.
Safety net, all right.
Protecting yourself against life's inevitable storms. Okay, so this means having a solid emergency fund in place and a plan to manage any debt you might have.
Okay, so emergency fund, I know this is so important, but I always struggle with how much to save because 3 to 6 months of living expenses, that just seems like such a huge number.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a significant amount.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. What if you suddenly lost your job or you faced a major medical expense?
Right.
Having that buffer can really make a difference in your ability to weather those storms.
Yeah, like a cushion to fall back on so you're not completely derailed if something unexpected happens. It doesn't have to happen overnight, right?
It does not.
Even starting with a small amount each month.
Absolutely. And, even if it's a small amount each month, that adds up over time, and especially with the power of compound interest working in your favor.
Okay, so building that emergency fund brick by brick.
Exactly.
What about debt?
Okay, debt. So the best strategy is to prioritize high-interest debts, like credit cards, personal loans.
Okay.
Those are the ones that are really costing you money over time.
Okay.
What about some of those popular debt repayment methods like the snowball or the avalanche?
The snowball and the avalanche.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are those just gimmicks?
I was just thinking that.
Well, they're definitely not gimmicks.
Okay.
But it depends on your personality and priorities. The snowball method focuses on paying off the smallest debts first for a quick sense of accomplishment.
Oh, so you see little wins along the way.
Exactly, and that can help you stay motivated.
Right.
The avalanche method focuses on paying down the debts with the highest interest rates first, which minimizes the total interest you'll pay, which makes a lot of sense.
Logically, right?
Right. But it can take longer to see those results.
So snowball for motivation, avalanche for maximizing savings.
Exactly.
Okay, it's like choosing your weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Choose your weapon in the fight against debt.
But of course, like, the best strategy is to avoid accumulating new debt in the first place, right?
Absolutely. This is where budgeting and mindful spending come into play.
Right, building those good habits from the beginning.
Yeah.
So we've laid a solid foundation.
Yes. We've got our goals, our budget, a plan to build a safety net.
Where do we go next?
All right, so now it's time to shift gears and focus on growing your money through investing.
Okay, so now we're talking about building wealth.
Yes, building wealth for the future,
Right.
and investing plays a key role in that.
Investing. Now, this can be a little intimidating, especially for beginners, right? Like, where do you even begin? How do you even know which investments are right for you?
That's a great question. I think it doesn't have to be overly complicated. It really starts with understanding your risk tolerance.
Risk tolerance, okay.
Yeah, like how comfortable are you with the possibility of your investments fluctuating in value?
So if I'm someone who like gets really nervous about like the market going up and down, then I should probably stick to like lower risk investments,
Probably.
but then like lower potential returns.
Typically, yes, lower risk typically means lower potential returns, but it also means lower potential losses.
Right.
So it's about finding that right balance for your individual comfort level and your financial goals.
It's okay to be like risk averse.
Yes.
Yeah. What about diversification?
Diversification. Love diversification. It's all about not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right. I've heard that before. But what does that actually mean?
So it means spreading your investments across various asset classes. So we're talking about stocks, bonds, real estate, maybe even alternative investments like commodities or precious metals.
So you're basically reducing your risk by like having your investments in different areas. So if one doesn't do so well, the other ones might.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Diversification is a fundamental principle of investing, and it helps protect you from the volatility of any single investment or asset class.
Okay. Diversification is key. Got it.
Yes.
What about compound interest? Is that too good to be true?
It's not too good to be true, but it does require patience and a long-term perspective.
Okay.
It's the snowball effect of investing.
Okay.
So your earnings generate even more earnings over time.
Oh, wow. So the earlier you start investing,
Yes.
the bigger that snowball gets.
Exactly.
But is it still worth it to invest if you start like a little later in life?
Absolutely. Never too late to start investing. Even if you're starting later, you can still benefit from that compound growth, especially if you're disciplined and consistent with your investments.
Okay, so time and compound interest, I'm writing that down.
Yes, very important.
What about retirement planning?
Retirement planning.
Isn't it like too early to be thinking about that?
Yeah, never too early to start planning for retirement. The sooner you start, the more time you have to accumulate wealth. Take advantage of that power of compounding.
Right.
And you have things like tax-advantaged retirement accounts.
Yeah. 401ks, IRAs.
Exactly. That can help you grow your savings even faster.
And don't forget about employer matching. That's essentially free money.
Absolutely. You do not want to leave free money on the table. If your employer offers a matching program, contribute enough to get the full match. It's a fantastic way to boost your retirement savings.
So we've covered investing for growth, planning for a comfortable retirement. What else is there?
Okay, so now that we've built up this wealth, it's essential to safeguard it and ensure its longevity.
Okay.
So this is thinking about protection and staying ahead of the curve.
Okay.
So things like insurance, estate planning, even monitoring your credit score.
Okay, so protection, what does that actually look like?
So first and foremost,
Yeah.
adequate insurance.
Okay.
Health insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, property insurance.
Mm-hmm.
All essential safety nets against unexpected events.
Yeah, that's something that's so easy to overlook
Right.
until you need it.
Exactly.
What about estate planning? Isn't that just for like wealthy people?
Not at all. Estate planning is for everyone.
Okay.
It's about making sure that your wishes are carried out and that your assets are distributed according to your plan. So this involves creating documents like wills, trusts, powers of attorney.
So it's not just about the money, it's about having a plan in place for like your loved ones.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What about credit scores?
Your credit score. So this is a numerical representation of your credit worthiness, and it affects your ability to get loans, the interest rates you'll pay, and even things like your ability to rent an apartment or even get a job.
Wow. It's amazing how much your credit score impacts your life. So how often should you check that?
You can check your credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, once a year for free. And you can monitor your credit score more frequently through various credit monitoring services.
Okay, so staying on top of your credit, super important. So we've covered laying the foundation, investing wisely, protecting our wealth, planning for the future. What else is there?
So the final, and perhaps most important step, is recognizing that financial literacy is a lifelong journey.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a one-time fix. It's a continuous process.
It's a continuous process of learning, adapting, and staying ahead of the game in an ever-changing financial landscape.
Right, because things are always changing. So where do we go to actually learn and expand our knowledge? Because there's so much out there.
There are so many resources available: books, seminars, credible blogs, and podcasts.
Right.
The key is to be discerning and choose sources that align with your values and goals.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to seek professional advice when needed.
Yeah, like a financial advisor,
Sure.
someone to kind of walk you through it all.
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's funny, even for people who've been investing for a while, they still feel overwhelmed by all the information out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, where do you even start?
I know, right? It changes all the time, too, so it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, it really is like drinking from a fire hose.
It is. There are so many books and blogs and podcasts and webinars. I mean,
So many.
where do you begin?
Yeah, so say I'm like interested in investing for beginners, but I kind of want to go a little bit beyond like the very basic stuff. What would you recommend?
Hmm. Well, for a good foundation, there are some classic books like The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham.
Oh,
Like the Bible of Value Investing.
Intelligent Investor.
Yeah, it's got some really timeless insights into like market analysis and risk management.
Okay, that's a great one, but it is a little dense.
It can be.
What if you want something a little more, I don't know, approachable?
Yeah, something a little easier to digest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel? So this one looked at the behavioral side of finance,
Interesting.
like how our emotions and biases can trip us up.
Oh, that's so important. I think sometimes we forget that it's not just about numbers. It's about
Yeah,
human behavior.
totally. Emotions play a huge role.
Yeah.
And then if you're really just starting out, Broke Millennial Takes on Investing by Aaron Lowry is a good one.
Okay.
Super relatable.
Broke millennial. I like that.
Yeah, and it's engaging. It covers everything from opening a brokerage account to picking your first investments.
Okay, those are all great books, but I'm more of a visual learner.
Ah, okay. You like videos and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a ton of great financial education content on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, of course, YouTube.
Right, so channels like The Financial Diet and Investopedia are really good.
Okay.
They explain everything really clearly and simply.
Nice. And what about online courses?
Oh, yeah. There are tons of those, too.
Yeah.
So platforms like Khan Academy and Coursera have free or low-cost courses on investing and personal finance.
Oh, cool. And you can go at your own pace.
Exactly. And a lot of them give you a certificate when you're done.
Well, that's nice. So you can kind of show it off a little bit.
Exactly. A little bragging rights.
Oh, and don't forget podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Podcasts are awesome.
So good.
There's so many good ones out there.
Like, what are some of your favorites?
Well, Planet Money is a classic.
Oh, yeah. Planet Money is great.
It's so good at making economics fun and interesting.
Right. And for more serious investors?
Yeah, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty,
Yeah.
there's Invested with Phil Town and the Investors Podcast.
Okay, nice. And you can listen to podcasts while you're doing other stuff.
Exactly. That's the best part. You can learn while you commute or work out or do chores.
Right. Multitasking at its finest.
It is.
Yeah.
But with all this information out there, it's important to be careful.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, how do you know if a source is legit?
Good question. So you want to look for sources that are transparent about their methods.
Okay.
They should cite their sources. And they shouldn't make any crazy promises or guarantees.
Right. Like, if it sounds too good to be true.
Exactly. It probably is.
Yeah,
Be wary of anyone promising get-rich-quick schemes.
for sure.
Investing is a marathon, not a sprint.
I like that.
Yeah, it takes time and patience and discipline to build real wealth.
So no shortcuts.
Nope. Consistency is key.
So we've got books, videos, podcasts, online courses. Are there any other resources that people should check out?
Oh, yeah. How about seminars and workshops?
Oh, yeah, good point.
They're great for learning in a more interactive way.
You get to meet people.
Exactly. You can network with other people who are interested in the same things, and you can ask the presenters questions directly.
Oh, that's a good point. And sometimes financial institutions offer free seminars.
They do.
like on retirement planning or investing basics.
Yeah, it's a great way to learn from the pros and get some personalized advice.
Nice. And you can always reach out to a financial advisor.
Absolutely. They can help you create a plan, choose investments that are right for you, and navigate those tricky financial situations.
Yeah, it's like having a coach in your corner.
It's exactly. Someone to guide you and support you, especially when you're feeling lost or overwhelmed.
Right. So whether you're reading books, watching videos, attending seminars, or working with an advisor, the key is to keep learning.
I agree. It's an investment in yourself and your future. The more you learn, the more confident you'll be in managing your money and making good decisions.
It's so empowering to think that anyone can take control of their finances and reach their goals.
I know, it's amazing.
It doesn't matter where you come from or how much money you make.
Right? Financial literacy is all about breaking free from limitations and creating a better future.
And it's never too late to start.
Never too late.
Whether you're just starting out or you're getting ready for retirement, there's always something you can do to improve your financial well-being.
That's right. The important thing is to take that first step and keep moving forward.
So we've talked a lot about the importance of learning and all the different resources available.
Well, yeah.
What are some of the key takeaways from this conversation?
Well, I think the biggest one is that financial success is a journey.
Not a destination.
Exactly. It takes planning discipline and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Right, because things are always changing.
They are, and it's never too late to start.
So true.
No matter where you are in your financial journey, you can always improve your situation.
Yeah, and there are so many resources out there to help you.
Books, blogs,
Mhm.
financial advisors, online courses, you name it.
The key is to find what works best for you.
And make financial education a regular part of your life.
Yeah, like brushing your teeth or eating your vegetables.
Exactly. It should be a habit.
And remember, financial literacy isn't just about getting rich.
No, it's not.
It's about making smart decisions that align with your values and goals.
Well said.
Yeah.
And as you learn more, you can start exploring more advanced strategies like investing and retirement planning.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
Right. There are experts out there who can guide you.
It's okay to not know everything.
Absolutely. We're all learning.
Yeah, it's inspiring to think that anyone can achieve financial freedom with the right tools and the right mindset.
It's all about empowering yourself to create the future you want.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground in this part of our deep dive.
We have.
But before we move on, I want to leave our listeners with a little challenge.
Okay. I'm listening.
Don't just let this information sit in your head.
Right.
Take action. Pick one area of your finances that you want to work on
Okay.
and commit to doing one small thing this week to improve it.
I love that.
Yeah, so maybe you set up a budget tracker
Okay.
or read a chapter in a personal finance book
Yeah.
or schedule a meeting with a financial advisor.
Good ones.
You could also sign up for an online course or listen to a podcast episode on a topic that interests you.
It doesn't have to be a huge thing.
No, just one small step.
Just start somewhere and keep moving forward.
Exactly. Consistency is key.
It really is.
Remember, financial success is a journey,
Not a destination.
and every journey begins with a single step. It's funny how we tend to think about financial success as like this thing that requires a lot of sacrifice.
Right? Like you have to give up everything you enjoy.
Yeah, like live like a monk or something.
Exactly. Deprive yourself just to save money.
But is that really true?
Not at all. I mean, true financial success is about creating a life of abundance
Okay.
where you can enjoy the things that matter to you without constantly stressing about money.
So it's about finding that balance
Yes, exactly.
between enjoying life now
Right.
and planning for the future.
And that's where mindful spending comes in.
Mindful spending.
You heard of that?
Yeah, I've been reading about it lately.
It's about being more intentional with your money.
Okay,
And-
so instead of just like impulse buying or,
Yeah.
mindlessly swiping your credit card.
You stop and think,
Yeah.
does this purchase really align with my values and goals?
It's like asking yourself, do I really need this?
Yeah,
Or do I just want it?
exactly. And will this actually bring me joy?
Okay, so it's not about denying yourself.
No.
It's about making choices that actually make you happy.
That's the key.
So for example, let's say you love trying new restaurants, but you're also trying to save money.
Okay.
So instead of eating out every night,
Right.
maybe you cook at home more often.
Yeah.
And then you splurge on a special dining experience once a month.
That way you're still enjoying your passion, but you're doing it in a more sustainable way.
And you're being more intentional about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think this goes back to what we were talking about earlier with budgeting.
Yes.
Like a good budget is not about restriction.
Right. It's a plan.
It's a plan that gives you the freedom to spend on the things that matter to you.
Exactly.
So how can people actually start practicing mindful spending?
Well, one simple technique is the pause and reflect method.
Okay.
Before you buy something, especially something you don't really need, just take a moment to pause.
Okay.
Ask yourself those questions.
Do I need this?
Yeah. Will this bring me joy?
Will this make me happy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another good strategy is to create a wish list.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So instead of buying something right away,
Yeah. Put it on the list.
add it to your list and give yourself some time to think about it.
Yeah, give yourself that buffer.
Exactly. And, tracking your expenses can be really helpful too.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, it can be eye-opening.
You might be surprised where your money's going.
Totally. You might find that you're spending a lot on things that don't actually bring you much value.
And then you can make changes.
Exactly. Redirect your spending towards things that truly matter.
It's amazing how even small changes can make a big difference over time.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
like that compound interest we were talking about, but for saving.
Right. Small, consistent efforts add up.
Exactly. And mindful spending isn't just about the financial benefit.
Okay.
It's also about aligning your actions with your values
Yeah.
and creating a life that truly reflects who you are and what you care about.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, I want to encourage everyone listening to really embrace this idea of mindful spending.
I agree. It's not about deprivation or sacrifice. It's about making choices that support your well-being.
Yeah, make choices that make you happy.
Exactly.
Remember, you have the power to create a life of abundance and fulfillment.
You do both financially and personally.
So that's it for today's deep dive into financial success.
I think we covered a lot of great information.
We did. We talked about setting goals, building a strong foundation, exploring different ways to invest, and of course, the power of mindful spending.
So many important concepts.
But the biggest takeaway here is that financial success is possible for everyone.
It is. It starts with a willingness to learn and a commitment to taking action.
And believing in yourself.
We believe in you.
So take what you've learned today and start taking those small steps towards creating the financial future you want.
Every journey begins with a single step.
And that's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive.
We hope you enjoyed it,
We'll see you on the next one.
where we'll explore another fascinating topic.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for your dreams.
See you next time.